Alrighty, guys, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. Welcome back, y'all. We got ourselves a bit of information for y'all regarding the upcoming. Oh, hold on, my that's weird. My thing's not working. Okay. Anyways, we'll have to do it manually. my little scene changer thing is having a bit of an issue. But anyways, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Let's see who we got here for today before we dive on into it. We got ourselves Pilot. We have Lucy. We have L. Rogers. We have Kimberly. Anthony. Let's see, Kayla. We have Aiden. Let's see here. We have the Truck Kid. John. Let's see who else we got here. We have there's Lucy. Well, Lucy's here. What's up, Lucy? Roadster Jim, we have Carissa, we have Storm Analysis, we have ourselves Kaylee, let's see here, Critty, and everybody else. We have Dixie, Jack. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. So obviously to everybody else I may have missed in the chat, so hope everyone's doing well, guys. So we got ourselves a lot of severe weather, that unfortunately, it's just that time of the year, my friends. I mean, we're going to expect a lot of severe weather coming up here. We actually have 3 days worth of risks that's already been issued. Well, technically 5 days regarding severe weather coming up here. It's actually starting tomorrow. So unfortunately, this will continue into the day of the solar eclipse here for April 8th. And we have a better outlook regarding like the cloud cover and stuff like that. We'll go over all of that stuff in this live stream and stuff. So we'll get to that. Obviously, we'll talk about the eclipse and stuff like that in the stream too. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're gonna go over models. We're gonna go over the outlooks. You know, same old. But we'll definitely need to be on the lookout for the next couple of days. I will tell you that. What's up, Polar Vortex? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Luzia? I think it is. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. We have Kim. We have Christy. What's up, guys? We have another Andrew. What's up, Andrew? Fellow Andrew. All right, y'all. Well, enough said. So let's actually go ahead and hop on over here to the outlooks here. We're actually going to start off with tomorrow because tomorrow may warrant some coverage. I may need to go live for you guys tomorrow across like the central plain. So yeah, let's go and hop away over here. Oh yeah, I just forgot my thing's not working. So let's go ahead and hop our way over here and we'll take a look at it. So this is the risk here for tomorrow regarding severe weather potential. We're gonna have, or we actually have ourselves a slight risk, a severe threat level 2 out of 5 regarding the potential for severe weather. So we got ourselves a decent shot. Where's my pin? I'm waiting for it to pop up here. So, oh, there we go. So we got ourselves a decent risk regarding severe weather here for tomorrow. So basically, if you're across the dark green and across the yellow areas, you are at risk regarding the potential for severe weather tomorrow, which includes obviously portions like, you know, kind of northeastern Oklahoma, a lot of central eastern Kansas, and a lot of central kind of south and southeastern Nebraska. You know, is obviously also inside of the risk here. Now we have a level 2. So the greatest probability regarding severe weather is going to be across some of these yellow areas. You know, out there up in like northeastern Kansas by like Salina, let's see, McPherson, we have Minneapolis, we have Marysville, you know, some of these areas up here towards like the northeastern side of Kansas. Also for portions like central, south central Nebraska. You know, is also going to be inside of the, you know, also going to be inside the greatest threat here for today. Or sorry, for tomorrow, my bad. Now, tornadoes, unfortunately, we do have a probability for tornadoes. The good news, though, is that it is relatively a low threat. It is not anything like we've been seeing the last couple of days. You know, it's nothing relatable to those outbreaks that we've seen. You know, for tomorrow, anyways, regarding tomorrow's outlook. Like I said, this event's going to be popping off here and really start going here down in time here. Let's see here. Divis Mom coming in here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. I'm still not sure if it's Divis. Is it Divis? Let me know. Let me know if it's Divis. But thank you for the 5. That's very sweet of you. That is much appreciated, my friend. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's nothing comparable to those other risks that we've had, you know, a couple days ago. Like my birthday, that was a terrible day. It's not that big of a risk, but you know, there's a small possibility that we could get an isolated tornado or two. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did have ourselves. Let's see, Devis, right? Devis. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it though. So yeah. like I said, isolated tornado or two possible here for tomorrow from northeastern Oklahoma all the way through central Nebraska. We'll have to watch out there for that. Now, regarding the hail side of things, got ourselves a 15% risk for hail. So like I was explaining here, the way this works, I mean, for example, let's just say you live right there. So within 25 miles, within a 25-mile radius of your given location, if you're in the yellow, it's a 15% chance that damaging winds, in this case, hail, basically between 1 and 2 inches in diameter could occur. A 15% chance within 25 miles of you. It doesn't have to be specifically for you, but it's just in that general area. So we do have a decent shot for hail out there by Kansas and obviously Nebraska. Well, no, the whole hail threat even includes like northeastern Oklahoma. But once again, the greatest probability is going to be across the yellow there. There is no SIG hail risk, so we're not expecting hail over 2 inches in diameter. Hail should mostly stay, right around quarter size, maybe a little larger, but it shouldn't go anything over 2 inches. So that's good news. So nothing super, super wild regarding hail. Just a decent shot that we could get a little bit of, obviously. Like I said, a decent shot. We could get a little bit of hail. Now, damaging winds is kind of the same. This does include like northeastern Oklahoma, going through like central Kansas, eastern side here. Obviously, we got ourselves once again Nebraska included, and the 15% risk area is pretty similar, actually, to the one here that we have for regarding damaging hail potential. Now, let's see here. When it comes to significant winds, we do not have any. So winds should remain under, like I said, in terms of the worst wind gusts, it should remain under 70 miles an hour. So we're talking maybe just some winds getting slightly above 58 miles an hour or higher. That's considered severe. So there's going to be that possibility overall. So yeah, I mean, it is a triple threat for tomorrow. Once again, this is not going to be anything super, super wild. Like I said, I think we are going to be, I think we are going to be live here tomorrow regarding coverage. I'm going to try to be here for you. Even though storms should be relatively nothing super, super wild, but there's still going to be that potential for severe weather. So, yeah, we'll be live. Anyways, but then we move our way into day 3, which is the day after tomorrow. Now, obviously, today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. So, moving into Sunday here, we do have a risk for severe weather across the dark green areas as far north as central Illinois. So even places out there by like Indiana's in the risk area, portions by like western Kentucky, extreme southeastern Missouri. This does barely include St. Louis here. Obviously we got ourselves like western Tennessee, northern Mississippi, eastern Arkansas, like northern Louisiana and stuff like that. So like I said, once again, we got ourselves a level 1 risk, nothing super wild regarding, Sunday's outlook. But once we work away into Monday, unfortunately, that's where things become a little bit of problematic, which Monday, if you know, that's the 8th, and that's the day of the eclipse. So let's hop over here to that. So here is, this is for Monday. This is the eclipse day. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a 15% risk regarding severe weather out there in southern Oklahoma. A lot of Texas, man. A lot of central northeastern Texas here. Places out there by like northwestern Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas. We got some pretty populated areas included here. Like we have Dallas, we got Austin, Texas. We have Abilene, Tyler, Texas, Wichita Falls. Once again, a lot of Texas is included with this. So, more like I said, some of the heaviest population, obviously, by Dallas-Fort Worth. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's going to be very cloudy down here for the day of the eclipse. We're going to go over cloud cover and stuff like that, too, like I was saying. Just give me a little bit. Let's go ahead and get through these outlooks first, and then we'll dive on into that. But, yeah, so this is for the eclipse. This is regarding, that potential. So, right now, it's a level 2 equivalent, a severe threat, level 2 out of 5. Tomorrow, regarding tomorrow, it should be within the first 3-day realm. So, like I was explaining here, let me go ahead and show you real quickly basically how this works here. So, let me go ahead and hop you all over here to the full screen. I forgot the thing doesn't work. I'm going to have to, manually. I'm not used to that, man. All right, so let's see here. So so this is how it works. So obviously day 1, this is our outlook for today. We have the breakdown, stuff like that. Nothing severe today. Tomorrow, we got the slight risk and stuff like that. The day after, got the marginal, but then you move into the day 4 outlook and beyond. And you can actually see how it's different, right? You can actually see how it's instead of an actual risk, it's a percentage. But tomorrow, since today is day 1 and since today is pretty much over, the day 2 outlook right now will be day 1. Obviously, if that hopefully that makes sense. It's pretty simple. So yeah, so tomorrow we're going to know an actual risk for the eclipse day regarding like the potential for severe weather. We still won't know the percentages between tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. We're still not going to know that quite yet tomorrow. The day after we will. The day before the eclipse, we'll know the exact percentages regarding that tornado, large hail, and damaging wind probability. Now, what I can tell you, and this is going to be one of the main problems, guys, is hail. Hail is going to be a very big problem the day of the eclipse. Out there, like I said, in Texas, southern Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas, and portions out there by like western Louisiana. We'll dive into models. We'll look at that here in a little bit, but like I said, that's just going to be kind of a bit of a problem here. So, all right, so then we work our way into Tuesday, obviously day after the eclipse. Here's the thing. It still basically includes a lot of the same area, right? So, the risk is relatively in the same place for even Tuesday. So, these areas are not only going to see severe weather the day of the eclipse, but also here for the day after the eclipse could also see a bit of severe weather for some of the same areas like Dallas, this time including like Houston, a little further into Louisiana towards like Alexandria area. Texarkana obviously included, Austin, San Saba, just a pretty broad area. I mean, a pretty large area regarding that threat here for Tuesday. Then we work our way over into Wednesday. Now, once again, still including portions of eastern Texas, but this is for Wednesday. So as you can see, you can see for yourself now, we have multiple days lined up here regarding severe weather. So this is going to be a big problem, right? So obviously we have like eastern Texas, the entire state of Louisiana here, and for Wednesday's threat, southern Arkansas, a lot of Mississippi, a lot of north central, and southern Mississippi. Really all the state, excluding that northern side, is going to be in that risk area. And then, of course, obviously, we have a little sliver of western Alabama and barely even making it into the panhandle. But, that outlook's going to change a million times by the time we get to the day of. So, once again, we'll just have to watch out there for. But, yeah, starting the day of the eclipse, unfortunately, like I said, guys, it's going to be a little hefty on the severe weather side. And then, like I was saying, as we progress from Monday into Tuesday, Tuesday's threat's relatively similar, just pushed a little further south. And then, obviously, Wednesday's threat here, that continues a little further east out towards, like, Louisiana, Mississippi, and portions of Alabama. All right, y'all, I know what you guys have been waiting for. Let's see here. Yeah, I know what you guys have been waiting for. Let's actually go ahead and hop our way over here to the models regarding the eclipse. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, okay, Andrew, enough of this, blah, blah, blah. So, unfortunately, here's the deal. Let me go ahead and actually load this up here. So, all right, we'll go ahead and bring y'all over here. I need to manually do this here. So, okay. So, this is the day of the eclipse. Now, like we were explaining here, we have that big severe weather threat down in the south. So, unfortunately, yeah, a lot of the south is going to be relatively cloud covered for the day of the eclipse. There's a good shot we could have a bit of a break out there by like the western Ohio Valley portions by the Midwest. But it does look like that there could be the potential for a lot more cloud cover out there by like, the Mid-Atlantic, towards like the western side of New England. Another little area. And then honestly, it's just kind of this little band here, right? You can kind of see here for the day of the eclipse, just kind of like this band of cloud cover regarding the potential there. So the best shot regarding like being able to see the full eclipse will be across the Midwest. It will be across areas by like the Midwest and like the western Ohio Valley. I think you guys, obviously, as of now, regarding models, it's probably in the best. Also, like the Northeast, too, like the upper New England, probably also going to be like some of the best areas to view the eclipse. But yeah, by far the worst areas, unfortunately, is going to be down here by like Texas. So if you live in Texas, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you. More than likely, it's going to be a lot of cloud cover. I hate to tell you that. Now, yeah, so like I was saying, it gets a little better up there, a little bit more to the north. So, I mean, if you have to travel that extra distance, I should say, I would. I would. I mean, if you can travel a little further north, do it, because like I said, this is a rare event, man. You don't see this too often. I mean, last one we had that I remember is 2017. Usually they're not that close to one another. I mean, you might think, well, 2017 was a while ago. They're usually not that close, right? So they're usually a little more spaced out. I mean, like the next one I think is like what, 2040? Could be wrong, but it's a while from now for the next one. So just if you can, try to view it. I'm not going to be able to, unfortunately. I live here in Florida. I'm here in the 50% region regarding totality, so I'm not going to see the total, unfortunately. But I got solar eclipse glasses. That way I can at least see some of it, hopefully. If clouds aren't obscuring. But yeah, so that's just the latest outlook regarding that. So once again, the best areas to view the eclipse, from what it looks like, is going to be places kind of in these regions here. Kind of our areas out there by Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. Obviously the Northeast here out there by like New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts. Some of those areas. But obviously Massachusetts is not in the totality. But so there you go, guys. That's the latest with the eclipse. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Now, let me actually dive our way into the models. We're going to go further into models. Let's see here. Oh, gosh. I forgot to say your name. What was it? Devis? Oh, my gosh. I am so sorry. But thank you so much for being a tropical stormer. I appreciate that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, I'm so sorry I cannot say your name right. I'm just terrible with names. Don't take it to heart because I do it to everybody. But thank you. Thank you so much. That is super, super sweet. Devis, right? Okay, thank you. All right, so let's go and work over the models here. So obviously, like I was saying, here, I'll bring y'all back up here real quickly. So for the day of the eclipse, like I was mentioning here, this is where severe weather is going to be most likely as of right now. So out there by like central Texas, northeastern Texas, southern Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas, portions out there along like western Louisiana. Yeah, I mean, so obviously you guys out there regarding, severe weather, unfortunately seems to be a pretty good threat. So definitely want to watch out there for those regions regarding it. And from what it looks like as we were looking out there for, it seems like the biggest concern is going to be hail. But yeah, let's dive into models and we'll look at this together here. So, all right, so obviously we work way down in time here, February 7th. So, yeah, actually here for February 7th, or for basically, or I should really say for late April 6th. So basically tomorrow night, we're going to have that possibility here. Actually, if we work a little bit to the north, there's a little bit of instability, as you guys can see, just a little bit of unstable air available. And so with that, with that thunderstorm fuel, of course there's going to be the potential for a few thunderstorms. We do got a pretty strong lower-level jet here, which could support tornadoes, obviously, if there's, a lot of instability available as well. But given, the wind speed and wind directions in our lower atmosphere, it definitely could support some tornadoes. Same thing as we go up in altitude, you notice how the wind direction changes. So I want you guys to look at this. So here's our thunderstorm fuel, right? So that purple, pink color, that's where our energy is located. So this is where, we're going to be seeing, that fuel for potential thunderstorm growth, right? So then in our lower atmosphere, you notice how the winds, they're relatively moving north, maybe slightly northeast here. So, yeah, as you can obviously see there, we have ourselves that, increased low-level jet. I mean, we got pretty decent, actually. It's actually a pretty decent lower-level jet there. I mean, we're talking over 50 knots in some areas. It's pretty heavy lower-level jet. So, in our lower atmosphere, we'll use, we'll use green for our lower atmosphere. So in our lower altitudes, you can see that the winds are moving relatively to the north. So then we go up a little higher. But first of all, this is about 4,000 feet, which is close to ground. But as we work way up here higher in altitudes, you actually notice here, we'll use this in yellow, you can actually see how the wind direction changes to the northeast. So it's that sudden turn in the Earth's atmosphere here. It's that sudden turn which, could create tornadoes. And that's actually the reason why we have that tornado threat for tomorrow. As of now, it's nothing big, but I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. I think there could be an upgrade, maybe to a small 5%. I think theoretically is possible. I mean, just given the wind shear setup. I mean, not going to lie, this is a very good setup regarding the winds for tornadoes and stuff like that. So the limiting factor here is just the instability. There's not a whole lot of instability. Now, obviously, given that, there's going to be the potential that some pockets in the atmosphere could contain more energy than others that models just can't pick up on. So maybe locally there could be a bit of a higher tornado probability. So we'll just have to watch out for that. Real quick, I'm going to grab a sounding across like east central Kansas. Let's just take a look and see what the sounding says. This is for tomorrow, by the way, guys. This is tomorrow's outlook here. So, yeah, wow. Okay, so, yeah, you can really see that change in wind direction on our hodograph. So you can see as we start, at the surface, we go up north, the wind direction changes and increases with wind speed as it goes up higher and changes to the northeast. So our wind shear, basically simply the winds, their change in direction and wind speed could support tornadoes. We do got that curving hodograph there, so that definitely could support that. Now, here's the thing. These storms, according to the sounding, are going to be very low. I mean, shoot, these storms are really not going to be that tall. The EL, the equilibrium level, this is basically where the top of your thunderstorm is because, all this gap right here, this is instability, and the atmosphere becomes stable right at the mid-levels. So, honestly, when it comes to it, like I said, these are going to be very low top thunderstorms. These thunderstorms are not expected to be super high. And obviously, with that being said, obviously the higher top thunderstorm you got, typical thunderstorm could go, like up to 60,000 feet or so, 50, 60,000. Which obviously the more clouds you add, the more potential for heavier rain. So in theory, we could have ourselves, like I said, not as heavy as precipitation, given that these storm tops could be a little bit lower. But obviously, that's not really too important. But yeah, just given that, like I said, the winds are definitely in the setup there. We have a little bit of instability. A little concerned about the surface, though. We got pretty, meh dew points, but given the location, it could work. So yeah, that was out there by, what was it, Kansas? Let's go ahead and grab one by Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's go right between Dallas and Fort Worth here. Let's just try to get another sounding, and then we'll move on into, Sunday. So, yeah, honestly, pretty much same thing. I mean, with this sounding, though, the storm tops could be a little taller. So the thunderstorm tops could be just a little bit more taller here. So that is something else. So maybe a little bit more heavier precipitation potential. I mean, there's a little bit more into it, but regarding it, yeah, there is still that curvature in a hodograph, which could support maybe an isolated weak tornado there. So, well, yeah, like I said, obviously, with that being said, that is definitely, obviously that potential. So, all right, so yeah, we'll keep it on it. But yeah, instability seems to be kind of what is some of the limiting factor. It kind of looks like it might increase a little bit here, out there. Let's see, a little bit west of Tulsa. I'm gonna grab one more sounding here. This is actually almost moving into Sunday, but it's still for evening of tomorrow. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a little more concerning. As you can actually see, as we have higher instability or a little bit more instability, our hodographs are obviously, curvature. They're kind of like a big pirate hook, right? You can kind of see it looks like a big pirate hook here. So basically just showing that the winds, we have that, that the wind direction change in our lower atmosphere, as you go up in altitude, which obviously will allow for that cyclonic flow in our lower atmosphere, which could create unfortunately, some isolated tornadoes there tomorrow. So, all right, y'all. So let's go and work way down here into, let's see, late Sunday. So that moves through. Obviously, it brings the potential for severe weather here for late Sunday. Actually, out there by places like, let's see, a lot of these regions here. So you can see this big swath of instability. So, yeah, so that thunderstorm potential, obviously, it's kind of a bit of a cold front kind of setup here. And as we work our way over here into late Sunday, we actually have a bit more instability. And the reason we have more instability or more unstable air is because we're starting to get some support from the Gulf of Mexico. So obviously we're starting to get more moisture. We're starting to get more warmer air, which is, increasing that thermodynamic gradient. I know it's big words, guys, but it's basically just creating a more unstable atmosphere. The Gulf is helping in this case. Now, the good news is that the winds, they're not going to be as strong, obviously. We're going to have the potential in some areas here. Maybe 30 knots or greater, which, could support some tornadoes. I think that could be a bit more of a concern, more up towards, these areas by like western Tennessee maybe. So that's where I'm going to grab a sounding. We're going to grab a sounding here. We're going to see what this is showing us. But yeah, the winds are strongest up here, the best mixing of the instability as well. In which, a sounding such as this, you can see once again, there's a little bit of a curvature to the hodograph. So there's a slight change in wind direction with altitude, which, obviously could potentially allow for maybe a little bit of some tornadic activity here for obviously moving into Sunday. So yeah, so we'll definitely be watching out there for that day as well. Now, as of now, regarding the risk here for late Sunday, like we were mentioning here, we only have ourselves a, let's see here, we'll actually bring this up real quick. We only have ourselves marginal as of now. Now there could be room for upgrades. Obviously, you know, we are still a couple of days away from this, and obviously, you know, as we get closer to the event, we gather more observations and, you know, just overall more data and stuff, right? We'll learn more about it. We'll obviously learn more about it, in which we'll definitely be able to, you know, give you guys more of an update and stuff like that regarding it. But anyways, all right, let's go ahead and take this to the long range, y'all. We're going to go into the eclipse day. I know you guys have been obviously wondering about all that. So let's go ahead and bring y'all back over here. So whenever it comes to the eclipse day here, we're going to actually bring up the GFS model. So obviously we got ourselves a huge swath of instability. I mean, look at all that. That's all unstable air. In the blue, that is considered a good amount of instability for thunderstorms. And so let's actually, I think this should be pretty good. So yeah, all of the instability regarding the potential for thunderstorm development is really across a lot of these regions here. So like Texas, you know, obviously is in the main risk area here for the day of the eclipse. Like eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, northern like Mississippi, portions out there by like Tennessee. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of instability. There's actually a lot of instability available. And you know what? I'm actually going to remove those, but we're going to, oh, shoot, hold on. I accidentally went a little too far ahead of myself there. So yeah, that's where a lot of our instability is regarding the potential. Now, with the winds, the good news is that our lower level winds are really not super duper strong. Yeah, so they're really not super strong regarding the, you know, the concern for like big tornadoes. I don't think, honestly, guys, I really don't think that, you know, for the day of the eclipse, you know, tornadoes are going to be that much of a concern. Now, given the fact that we do have areas, you know, about 30 knots of lower level winds, I definitely do think that there, you know, could be a brief spin up. Just considering that the winds are changing directions with altitude, you know, they're pointing in the right way they need to be to produce some tornadoes. It's just the winds are not super strong, but yeah, our mid-level winds are, you know, above 50 knots for the most part in these areas, which is, yeah, it's good enough to get these storms, you know, organized and mature them. So I mean, just given the instability, you know, that fuel, that potential energy in the atmosphere here, it's pretty great actually. Yeah, it's very great across, you know, a lot of the southern plains into like the, I guess you consider this maybe the southern Midwest or portions of the southeastern U.S. I don't know. Is Arkansas considered like the southern? I consider that kind of like southern Midwest, I guess. But yeah, regardless, Arkansas, places out there by like the western Tennessee Valley, and obviously the southern plains here, with the greatest amount of instability being like between Texas and Oklahoma for the day of the eclipse. So another thing is those dew points, which, you know, dew points are very important for kind of understanding how much potential moisture we have in our lower atmosphere, which is good for getting those storms rolling, right? Higher the dew points, meaning, you know, the warmer the air, which the more moisture the atmosphere can hold. And we got to get that moisture from the ground to the upper atmosphere. And with those updrafts, you know, those warm rising columns of air brings all that moisture from the surface to our upper levels, which condenses once it interacts with the cooler air and, you know, creates that instability and stuff. But yeah, so regarding that, yeah, we have a really good moisture supply. You know, the dew points are pretty high, meaning in this case here, I mean, especially, you know, regarding like humidity and stuff. I mean, humidity is in some areas pretty high, which is pretty good. But yeah, especially being, you know, some pretty high dew points, that's definitely going to be some pretty good news for storms anyways. Obviously not for everybody else, but yeah, I mean, just given everything, man, it's definitely looking like an atmosphere here for, you know, for those hazards. Now, one of the main problems, like I was explaining to you guys, it's going to be hail. Okay, so this is for the evening, kind of late afternoon, moving into the evening for the day of the eclipse. We're going to grab a sounding, once again, towards like the Dallas, Fort Worth area. Let's just go ahead and grab a little sounding here, and we'll go ahead and see exactly what we're talking about. So, yeah, so right off the bat, what I do see here, once again, I know this looks a little scary for the average folk, but like I said, I'm not expecting you guys to understand this, but what I can tell you is that we do have a slight change in wind directions with altitude, which, you know, could set up the potential for maybe an isolated weak tornado or two throughout portions near the northeast Texas. Just given this sounding here, you know, once again, the winds are pointing in the directions that could support some tornadoes. So we'll see. But what I'm really interested in here is our mid-level atmosphere. So, for example, this is our surface, right? So this is ground level. It's basically just a vertical column representation. So this is 12 kilometers. So you can kind of see, just for a reference of, where we're talking. So this is 0 kilometers, obviously 12 kilometers. So we're going up in altitude. And right in our mid-atmosphere here, what I'm seeing here is a quick drop in our dew points, as you guys can see that. So obviously our dew points are dropping. Our temperature is definitely dropping and going back up in our mid-atmosphere. So that sudden drop in those temperatures, also an increase in mid-level instability. So our middle atmosphere has a lot of unstable air at the same point too. That could create a lot of ice crystal formation, which could ultimately lead to some very large hail, especially given if we have a strong enough updraft. But considering how much instability we have in the atmosphere, there is going to be obviously enough of that vertical wind shear to support some pretty strong, pretty large hailstones. So that is my main concern. Also, damaging winds too will be associated with this. So the main threat for the day of the eclipse, not only, like I said, there is a tornado threat, but I don't think that's going to be the main problem. The day of the eclipse, I think we're talking very large hail, as well as potentially significant hail. Actually, this is kind of a pretty nasty sounding regarding hail. I mean, 8 degrees Celsius. Temperature differential over a kilometer. That's a pretty big deal. Now, due to those sudden drops in the temperature and the amount of instability we have in our mid-level atmosphere, could obviously definitely support some large hail. So that's the main problem there. Large hail, damaging winds, main issue here for the day of the eclipse out there by like northeast Texas. Now we're going to grab another one. Let's grab one out there by like San Antonio. We're just going to grab another one just a little further south, obviously, a couple 100 miles south. But let's just grab another view, just kind of see what the overall verdict is for Texas. And honestly, there really isn't that much that's different. I mean, first of all, we do have that, that lower level spin. Honestly, I don't think there'd be too much concerns regarding like heavy tornadic activity. So I would take it easy with that. But once again, I don't think it'll be that much of a problem for tornadoes here coming for the day of the eclipse. But once again, man, so what I'm seeing here is that these storms could be pretty tall, actually, right around 12-kilometer tall storms. That's pretty big. But anyways, yeah, what we're really looking at there is a mid-atmosphere. Given that sudden drop in our dew points here, obviously increasing instability in our mid-level atmosphere definitely could support that hail growth, just all across Texas. That's really what it seems like. So hail is a big problem whenever it comes to Texas for the day of the eclipse. Now let's go and grab our way over here let's work our way over here towards eastern Oklahoma. We're gonna grab a sounding just slightly south of Tulsa, just kind of in that pool of instability. What's up, Jenny? Hope you're doing good. But yeah, let's just grab this. So first of all, what I noticed is that the winds really don't support any like tornadic activity. I mean, yeah, I don't think there'll be really any tornadic activity in this environment. But what I do see is, once again, a lot of instability in our mid-atmosphere, which, once again, that could create the concerns for, first of all, like a lot of ice crystal formation in our central atmosphere, as well as, obviously, enough vertical wind shear to support some pretty large hail. So large hail, once again, I think is going to be a bit of a concern, obviously, for like eastern Oklahoma. So between Oklahoma, like eastern Oklahoma and Texas, really specifically these regions here, from what it looks like as we've seen so far, really does look like it could be supporting some very large hail. Now let me hop over to Arkansas. There's not as much instability here. So first of all, out there by like Texas and Oklahoma, we have anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 joules per kilogram of instability throughout our atmosphere. That's a lot of gibberish. So consider this: anything over 500 can. Well, sometimes a little lower, can support some severe weather. But typically you want these values 1,000 and above to produce, some well-ly organized severe weather. And like I said, we're over 1,000. We're about 1,000 to 1,500. So big pool of instability, which is enough unstable air in our atmosphere to really potentially get some things going here. But yeah, let's grab a sounding out there by Arkansas. As you can see, we start to kind of push under 1,000 joules per kilogram once we work our way in towards like central Arkansas. So there's not as much instability. There's not as much unstable air. But yeah, let's just grab ourselves a sounding. We're going to grab one out there towards central Arkansas. Was that by Little Rock? Yeah. Out there by Little Rock. Wow. Okay. So yeah, same thing. Really is Texas. Kind of the big change here. So a sudden drop in our dew points here, a bit of a drop in our temperatures as well as a good amount of mid-level instability. Right on our middle atmosphere. So basically between 1 and 9 kilometers. Obviously portions of the lower atmosphere. There's a lot of unstable air up there, in which that could create. Once again, the potential there for some large hail. Now, once again, our lower level winds, while they are pointing in the right direction to produce tornadoes, like I was saying, I don't think this would be much of a tornado concern. The wind speeds are pretty weak, actually. So the wind speeds are pretty weak in our lower atmosphere, but the winds, they are changing directions with altitude. So given that, obviously there is going to be that small probability of maybe some isolated tornado or two, but honestly, I'm seeing a big problem between just hail and obviously damaging winds too. Even in Arkansas, we'll go ahead and grab one more sounding here for like West Tennessee, and then we'll go down the line a little bit further into those other 15% risk areas. But yeah, so here's one for West Tennessee. Honestly, this is just the atmosphere as a whole at this point. For these areas regarding instability, once again, a pretty dry mid-level atmosphere, a big sudden drop in our dew points, an increase in instability with our mid-levels. Our wind shear is, I wouldn't say super crazy, but it's decent. In terms of keeping these storms organized and, developed. There's going to be a little bit more weaker vertical wind shear in this environment given less instability. But not as large of hail, I wouldn't think, but definitely still the potential for some hail I do still see on the table for areas out there by like western Tennessee. But yeah, the main hail threat, honestly, really kind of seems to be, from what we've noticed, from all these soundings we've taken here, mostly in these regions, out there by Texas, really the central kind of northeastern side of Texas into Oklahoma, into portions out there by like Arkansas. That is where we're going to be seeing a lot of that, the greatest hail potential regarding the date of the eclipse here. Now, then we work our way down in time. Obviously, the cap builds in overnight because, the sun's no longer out and, the surface temperature is cool, which, creates a warm layer in our lower atmosphere, which prevents storms from happening. So overnight here for, obviously, Tuesday morning, we're not going to really see anything. Maybe later Tuesday morning, we could get a bit more convection as you can actually see the instability returns here for April 9th, which is Tuesday. Maybe even a little bit more instability. Now, this is just one given model, but maybe a little bit more instability there towards like southern Texas. At this point, maybe over 2,000 joules per kilogram. Like I was saying, anything over 1,000 is good, but 2,000, that's starting to get pretty high on the instability side of things. But yeah, so that's that. Whenever it comes to it, though, regarding things here, once again, pretty good amount of instability here for late Tuesday. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there for that. Our lower level winds in this case, still pretty weak. I don't think any big tornado activity here for Tuesday. Obviously, there's going to be that small potential. Here in our mid-levels, you can see that trough, that low-pressure system positioned over western Texas. Big dip in the jet stream, really amplifying those winds out there more towards the central side of the state, while the convection should remain mostly here to the east, given that instability is in that place. So the strongest wind shear is just to the west of that instability, but there should definitely still be strong enough winds to allow for those storms to continue popping off or really get going up there in eastern Texas still. Even Oklahoma, potentially still in that area here. Now, here we go again. So this is for late Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves another sounding out there by Dallas-Fort Worth region as we have been. So once again, this is for late Tuesday whenever it comes to it. So let's just go ahead and see here what we got going on in the environment here. So, wow. First of all, a lot more instability mixed throughout our atmosphere. A lot taller storm tops. Honestly, yeah, this could be a big problem once again regarding hail, once again here for not only the day of the eclipse on Monday, but also for into Tuesday. The atmosphere, really concerning. Pretty good atmosphere in this case. So given that hail, once again, for honestly Tuesday, out there by Dallas-Fort Worth is kind of a thing. So it's not just going to be one day, guys. It's going to be multiple days. Let's go and grab one just for why not. Let's just grab one up here in southern Texas. Let's just see what's going on out there. Let's see what we got going on with this. With the sounding here overall. Okay, so I do notice some things. First of all, this is pretty concerning. Pretty concerning atmosphere. Very dry mid levels. But what I've noticed is that the winds are very weak. Winds are very weak in our lower atmosphere. So that's going to be good. I don't think any tornadoes are going to develop out of that, but I think massive hail. Massive hail could be a thing out of this sounding here. I mean, 2,600 joules per kilogram. Given the fact that we have a lot of instability or a lot of unstable air in our mid-atmosphere, this is really going to increase those vertical velocities. So that upwards flow of air, bringing up a lot more moisture, bringing up a lot more potential in severity with these storms. And, once again, just given how strong the winds are also at this level here, it's going to really get things moving. Things are going to be really organized. These storms are going to be able to mature very, very well. I mean, if this actually did come out to play, southern Texas could see some enormous hail. Really, really large hail for Tuesday. So honestly, if that continues, that's a little concerning. That is actually very concerning. So big hail, definitely significant, could be a good possibility. So then we work our way into the morning of Wednesday. It looks like some storms for basically late Tuesday into early Wednesday could still continue to convect, given that there's no cap, in the atmosphere here. It seems like eastern Texas, Louisiana here for the morning of Wednesday. Obviously over overnight hours, we could have some storms firing off locally to that region. Our lower level wind shear is increased on the eastern side of Louisiana, but our instability is not super high in that region. It would be more concerning if that strongest wind shear would be over the instability, but considering it's more to the east and kind of offset there, is better news for us. Our mid-level winds here also actually pretty strong. I mean, regardless of where you're at in that instability zone, which that could create those storms to be relatively organized, potentially pretty long-lived, given that mid-level shear. And let's just grab another sounding. Why not? We've been doing this a lot today, so let's go and grab another one here towards central Louisiana. This is for the morning of Wednesday, and let's just go ahead and see what's going on with all this mess here. So, regarding a sounding, yes, this one's a little bit more concerning. Obviously, you can actually see that we have the kind of pirate hook photograph there we were talking about. So that sudden change in wind speeds and wind directions with altitude. So here in our lower levels, here towards the surface, the winds are moving north. And as we go up in altitude, you can see that the winds are actually pointing to the northeast. So there's that sudden change in wind direction, which can create that spin in our lower atmosphere. So tornadoes, maybe some nocturnal tornadic activity, theoretically possible. I mean, at this point, obviously, guys, we are a little far down. We're basically talking Wednesday here. I mean, today is obviously Friday. There's still a lot of time for things to change regarding this day. But at least from this model, from the information that we have available to us now, this is what it is showing. Obviously maybe some nocturnal tornadic activity here, increased lower level winds, compared to the other days. Like I said, I for Monday, Tuesday, I do theoretically, like I said, I do think that we're gonna have the potential for maybe a weak isolated tornado, at least given the the support we have right now. I do think that an isolated tornado or two could be possible, but really I think our main problem, guys, is going to be hail and damaging winds. I really do think that that's going to be kind of the main problem here. So we'll definitely keep it out there for that. So yeah, then we work our way into later, obviously the later morning here of Wednesday. But yeah, the instability continues. We'll actually work over here to the southeast here. And eventually will work its way out there, maybe towards like Alabama, out there by Georgia, out there by like Florida region there too. So we'll have to see. That's kind of at this point, it's kind of in the extended range. Honestly, I'd be a little eager to see what's going to happen here for Thursday. If we did get severe weather in the southeast, it would be for Thursday, as a little bit of instability still remains. But the reason I am going to be super stoked regarding if I did get the potential, because I don't know if y'all saw my my community page, but I have a working mesonet now, thanks to my friend Quentin, or the Bush Pilot. Dude helped me put together this really amazing weather station, and I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys this real quickly. I'm going to go ahead and show you all my weather station here. So this is the page. Go to stations. This is my station here, and look at this. So we just recently reset the data because we were still trying to work with the hiccups of some of the data feed, but we got it up and running again. But this is my personal station. This is consisting of meteorological instruments, high-grade stuff. I mean, I spent a little over $3,000 in total to get this thing up. I mean, this is not your typical weather station. This is like a scientific grade, research grade instruments that I have available right now. But yeah, I just started. I reset the data, because we were doing a few things with it. But yeah, this is my data. This is my station here. Once again, Bushpile, if you're here, man, thank you, dude. But yeah, this is my station out here in Central Florida, and I'm really going to be interested to see, if that frontal passage rolls through, just what I can learn from it. Obviously, we've been seeing some pretty interesting things here. Here's just kind of like a little analog view of everything going on. Let's go ahead and hide my face cam real quickly. But yeah, you can see a lot of things like, our temperature right here, our dew point, humidity, mean sea level pressure, a lot of things. It's really neat, really, really neat. It's just it just updates every 10 seconds. You'll see it, the feed update every 10 seconds there. But, just a really cool station. So I'm going to be excited to see if obviously we do get some things going out there. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and move this back. But yeah, it's definitely going to be super, super awesome in order to, collect some data on that, of course. But I just thought I'd mention that. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we'll definitely see what happens there overall. But, just given the next several days, guys, I mean, we're going to see a really good shot for severe weather. I mean, you can see that all the abundance of instability here as we work our way into tomorrow or Saturday. Not a whole lot of instability, but really strong wind shear. We work our way over here into Monday, the day of the eclipse. A good amount of instability, which will allow mostly for a problem regarding once again, mostly a problem out there for hail and damaging winds. Less wind shear, less lower level wind shear and stuff like that. And of course, as we work way over here into Tuesday, once again, there still could be a lot of instability, especially for the deep south out there by southern Texas. Once again, I mean, models obviously not perfect. I want to see the mid-range model support before I really get into that, but it could support some very large hail. I mean, given instability, higher instability values, stronger mid-level instability, which could increase those vertical wind shear profiles, which could allow for more supported large hailstones and stuff like that. So, a bit of an issue there. We'll have to watch it. And once again, this frontal passage will continue eastbound throughout the coastal southeast out there by the Gulf states. And once again, I mean, this is very far-fetched at this point here, but, it's a very good possibility that given that cold front motion and, the overall progression of the system, it very, very well could allow for a little bit of instability to still be available in the deep south here, which, in theory could produce maybe a little bit of severe weather. But honestly, it's a little far for liking, considering that's Thursday and today's Friday. It's almost a week away. So, yeah, at that point, I don't really like looking at the models. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely watch it. I mean, we'll definitely keep it out there for the next couple of days. Once again, tomorrow, I think I am going to initiate coverage. I mean, just given how strong this wind shear is, like I was saying here, our lower level jet, we're talking over 50 knots in that instability field. Where our instability is. Not a lot of energy, but like I was explaining, guys, is that there could be some pockets in the atmosphere that models just can't pick up on that could have, locally higher amounts of instability, which, given the conditions are right, unfortunately, probably could produce some higher tornadic activity. So we'll see, because that is considered a significant lower level jet, and our wind shear profile is considered significant for tornadoes, while the instability is really the main limiting factor here. But we'll definitely just see. Like I said, tomorrow I plan on doing a live stream for you guys. Still not sure what time and stuff like that, but anyways, yeah. So that's that, my friends. Just really wanted to go over everything. We really did do some model analysis with you guys today, that we can really see what's going on. Could I do a sounding for Terre Haute, Indiana, when the storms get here? So here's a good thing, my friend. It honestly looks like the environment is going to be relatively capped out for Indiana. So what that means is that there's a lower, in our lower atmosphere, there's a warm layer where the temperature is actually, in this case, a little warmer than the surface, which would allow for any rising updraft, any thunderstorm that tries to develop would immediately be cut off due to the lack of instability. Now, if somehow the parcels continue to rise into our mid-level atmosphere, I mean, there could be a little bit of instability available, but it really just doesn't look like a super crazy environment for severe weather here, as most of it looks capped out. It really seems like the stretch here for late Monday regarding the severe weather, I mean, where we have no cap and an open instability field, really seems to be, basically as high north as Tennessee. So yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. I mean, we'll see how everything goes here, but the day of the eclipse, unfortunately, like I said, I hate to break it to you guys, but if you live out there by Texas, I mean, potentially Arkansas, Oklahoma, maybe even like Tennessee, some of those areas out there, unfortunately, more than likely, it is going to be pretty cloudy. In which, one more time, we'll go ahead and go over this with you guys, because yeah, here's the latest data regarding the eclipse and stuff like that. Whenever it comes to it here, the southern side, greatest probability for cloud cover. The most cloud cover of the event will probably be out there by Texas. The clouds could increase once again up there in the eastern Ohio Valley, maybe by portions of the western mid-Atlantic, kind of the western side of New England. Could be a little stronger, but more for northern New England. Once again, a good spot regarding viewing could be observed out there. The best shots for viewing this is going to be in these areas here that I circled. So if you live in Texas, Louisiana, my advice would be to travel north. Just get ahead of the gang here, in which that would probably be your best bet. Because if you stay in Texas, more than likely it's going to be cloudy. More than likely it's going to be obscuring the view, which once again you don't want to see that. You like I said, this is a very rare event, guys. I mean, the last one we had was in 2017, like I was saying here, but. When it comes to it, I mean, the next one is not for a long time, I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure exactly when, but I think it's the 2040s. At least for me, anyways. I think we have one going over Florida in the 2040s. But, yeah, so just travel north. Give yourself a little bit of extra time. I mean, we'll continue watching this tomorrow, I promise you guys. I'm going to try to do a video as well, solar eclipse video in the morning, to get that out for you guys regarding the forecast. And then, like I said, if needed, later tomorrow, I might do some coverage with you guys, considering we have that slight risk out there. But yeah, so that's really what I wanted to go over with you guys. But yeah, so once again, greatest probability for those cloud covers is going to be out there by Texas, maybe Louisiana, Oklahoma area. And of course, maybe a little bit more cloud cover up there towards the eastern Ohio Valley and kind of those surrounding areas overall. So yeah, we'll definitely just, if you can, travel north. That would be the best advice I could probably give you regarding that, if you live in some of those regions. Let's see here. Is it Davis? I think it was. You're the only person who stayed on in Lake Georgia, got hit. I was able to call my girls and warn them you are always going to be special manager. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. That is very sweet of you. That is some very kind words. And I'm glad to be able to be here for you guys. Like I said, no matter what, I'm going to try to be here as long as I can. Lately, things have been pretty crazy in my personal life. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Like, I recently moved rooms. I was working on a Mesonet station with my friend, Bush Pilot, who's in the chat right now. What's up, dude? But yeah, like I said, I just had so much stuff going on lately. It's just, with the coverage, I mean, my birthday, I mean, shoot, this... It's been a crazy last while. So, I haven't been able to do too much coverage or too much content, but hopefully things will calm down here soon, which I'm thinking it will, considering I finished my Mesonet, considering my birthday's over with, and all of that stuff. It should be a lot better. So, let's see here. I live in Nashville, so excited. Not getting, let's see, exciting. Wait, what? Not getting a full... but it's exciting. Well, I mean, Nashville, honestly, for the eclipse I think you're talking about, I mean, could be some clouds nearby. Like I said, we'll learn more about it the day before. Obviously, we're still a couple days away from this. Today's pretty much over. We're basically 2 days away from this, or 3 days away from this. So we'll see. Let's see here. Lala says, hey, so... Let's see, what did I miss concerning East Tennessee, please? By the way, yesterday was my birthday. Well, happy late birthday to you. Yeah, there's a lot of people's birthdays that just came around. All right, let's talk East Tennessee. I don't think there's going to be that much of a problem for East Tennessee. Yeah, so the environment here, I mean, first of all, this is several days away. Looking out this far is obviously not the best if you want to know accuracy. Looking out this far is a little much. But, there could be theoretically some instability available for Wednesday, Thursday, but it doesn't look anything concerning, honestly. Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about anything right now. Honestly, there's really no big problems for you. The area, though, that I would keep an eye out there for in Tennessee will be more to the western sides, as models are hinting towards a bit of instability in those areas. Yeah, you can see out there. Here's actually the NAM model here. Showing maybe a little bit of instability available out there also, like I said, in Tennessee. But yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Let's see. Thank you. I was here for yours also watching. Nice. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Try to get to as many questions as possible. But yeah, we're gonna be heading off here pretty soon, guys. Like I said, I got some things I gotta do. But yeah, typical update live stream is about an hour, so we're getting to that point anyways. But yeah, so tomorrow, like I said, once again on the table, guys, early video. I'm gonna try to do a video on the solar eclipse tomorrow, and of course we'll definitely try to do some coverage too if needed. So look out for coverage, maybe an evening, late afternoon stream, and of course look out there for potential video regarding solar eclipse. So. But anyways, y'all. But yeah, if y'all have any final questions, feel free to let me know before we roll off here. Yeah, we'll be heading off in about like maybe 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes here. So we're getting into the live stream. Plus, it's getting a little bit later, so you guys need to get some sleep. Let's see here. Hi, I'm a new meteorologist enthusiast. What radar do I use during my streams? GR2 analyst. I will tell you though, it's a pretty penny. The program will run you about $250. But it is powerful, say the least. It's a great program. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not really tracking anything crazy weather-wise, which I don't have my radar up right now. But yeah, I should pull some data to show you. But yeah, it's a pretty cool radar. But once again, not a sponsor, guys. Never going to sponsor on this channel. Like I said, you get all these bigger YouTubers that like to sponsor and make as much money as possible. But like I said, I'm not in it for the money. I don't care about sponsors. I'm not going to do any of that. Plus, like I said, the way YouTube is, they already give you enough advertisements. The last thing you want is more ads watching a live stream. I can't stand people like that, unfortunately. I'm not mentioning names, but there's a lot of people out there that like push for money for weather and stuff like that. Like I said, honestly, I even tell you guys specifically, do not donate to the channel. But obviously I have that still an option because, I mean, I do need to live somehow, but I never push it. I never do. Good night, Divas. Once again, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's see here. How about Chicago for Sunday? So, yeah, Chicago, honestly, you guys are far enough north to where I don't think we'll have any problems like regarding activity here. Let me bring you over here to the full screen. So this is the NAM model. This is our mid-range model support here. Obviously, like Illinois could see maybe a little bit of severe weather given frontal passage rolling through here for late Sunday into early Monday. There's instability to support it, right? So there is instability and stuff like that, and some mid-level wind shear. But yeah, regarding things, guys, honestly, out there by like Chicago, you can kind of see actually how the instability does actually, just kind of drop and does just kind of fade out here, as we work our way over here into that late Sunday commute. So honestly, for my Chicago people, while there theoretically could be a little bit of instability, honestly, it's really not looking anything concerning. Plus, it's capped out for the most part. Let's see. Jenny coming in here with a $20 super chat. Jenny, thank you so much for that. That is greatly appreciated. Or the thing says, thanks for being here. Jenny, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You really did not have to do that, my friend. That is much appreciated. Jenny, you are awesome. And thank you so much for the support. Like, seriously, it means a lot to me, and definitely helps things keep going. So thank you so much, Jenny. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. But, yeah, big shout-out goes to you, Jenny. Once again, thank you so much. You are the best. Appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see. What about St. Louis on the eclipse? So, yeah, for St. Louis, here for Monday, honestly, I mean, no storms will be expected for St. Louis on the day of the eclipse. When it comes to, like, the cloud cover and stuff like that, let's see here if I can find anything regarding cloud cover. For the day of the eclipse, I mean, maybe... yeah, it's kind of hard to see here. It could be a little overcast, maybe some clouds. I mean, once again, it just depends on what model you look at there. But, most of Missouri should be relatively in the clear, or at least just not all obscured. No storms though. No storms though. A little bit more to the southwest out there will be greater regarding like the potential for storms. But now I will tell you that towards the St. Louis area, for basically late Sunday, we're gonna have a little bit of an unstable air mass roll over the region. A little bit of a frontal system, a frontal push rolling through, associated a low pressure system up there in the central northern plains, which that could allow for some storms, but once again, this is late Sunday, and obviously the eclipse. What is it? Monday? Yeah, Monday is the eclipse. In which after that, like I was saying, regarding it, there's not going to be enough instability in the atmosphere regarding things here. And I just realized a minute ago I was looking at the wrong day. I just realized that. But yeah, so honestly, yeah, same thing though. Just a bunch, maybe some broken clouds. It's still kind of a little untrustworthy, but we're getting there. We're getting closer. So we'll see. Let's see here. Shout out to Andrew and his family. Once again, Jenny, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Let's see here. Will Tulsa have a lot of cloud cover? Let's see here. Let me bring it back over here. So this is the official forecast, or sorry, I should say the potential for cloud cover on the day of the eclipse. Tulsa is in kind of one of those iffy areas. More than likely, you'll see partly cloudy skies. Like I said, more than likely, it's not going to be like fully clear. The only areas that I see a really good shot of it being fully clear is up there, like in northern New England. Obviously, maybe out there towards like the eastern Midwest, western Ohio Valley, up there by Illinois, Indiana, theoretically could be a good place to see this. But obviously, by far the worst place to be viewing this eclipse is going to be down towards these regions here, out there in like southern Texas, in Texas, out there in the south towards Texas. Which, unfortunately, like I was saying, we have a big severe weather event coming up. We'll really start tomorrow. We got a slight risk, which is a decent threat for severe weather, all hazards, and of course we got ourselves. Let's see here, and then of course, like I was just saying, like we got ourselves the. The day after that, which is a marginal, and of course we got the 15% risks starting the day of the eclipse, going from Monday to Tuesday to even Wednesday, with those risk outlooks. So yeah, definitely a lot of days of severe weather coming up, and it looks like, unfortunately, a lot of coverage will be needed. So yeah, expect to see my face a little bit more in the next couple of days. So. All right, y'all. Well, we gotta head off here. It's getting kind of late. I got some things I gotta do before I gotta go to bed, so it's getting a little late here. But once again, I appreciate y'all for being here. Like I said, thank you all so much for all your support. Much love to you. If you haven't already, consider leaving a like, subscribing. Like I said, that's totally up to you. That's totally your choice. I'm not gonna obviously push you like a lot of YouTubers do, but consider it at least. I mean, just. Consider subscribing, consider liking, because like I said, it would definitely help out the channel and help get that word out there. But once again, I mean, I really appreciate it. Jenny, seriously, thank you so much for the donation. Also, Divas, thank you so much to both of you guys for the support today. You guys are awesome. Much appreciated, y'all. And like I said, if y'all have any questions or anything like that, feel free to join our Discord. We have that there in the description. Also, if you can probably find it somewhere in the chat from Nightbot. Just feel free to join it and hang out with us after stream and all that stuff. But alrighty, you guys. Well, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Go get some sleep because it's getting late. And obviously, tomorrow we'll pick up on the eclipse forecast, the first set of eclipse forecasts. And we'll obviously do a live stream potentially regarding tomorrow's coverage out there by, obviously, like the Central Plains out there. So, yeah, we'll try to be live here tomorrow for 2% tour, 15% wind, 15% hail. Non-sig though, so once again, hail should be mostly under 2 inches in diameter, between 1 and 2, and wind should be mostly between 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So, all right, y'all, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Once again, Divas and Jenny, thank you guys, much appreciated for the support. You guys are awesome. And all right, y'all, well, stream's heading off here in about 2 minutes. Go ahead and say your final goodbyes to your friends, family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat. And until next time, my friends, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. All right, y'all. You guys take care. Be safe out there. We'll see you then.